We live.
All right, we live once again. Once again, we back 7:30 on a Sunday night, which means it's another edition of Polk Coops live in the man cave. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to the All-State All-American PG, All-State All-American Coach. What's going on with you fellas?
What's up,
What's
guys? How
good?
y'all doing?
Man, we are blessed and highly favored, man. Happy to
Yeah.
happy to still be in the number. Well, another week, another week. This week is tip-off week for the boys. Last week was tip-off week for the girls. So before we get started, I want to see if the PG, you got anything on your dome?
Yeah, we back.
Too?
Another week. This week is tip off.
Nah, you were supposed to remind me about something that I forgot about. So hopefully it'll come back to my mind. If you got any notes, shoot it over to me.
All right, I have to look. Coach, anything in the coach's code?
Yes, sir. You mentioned tip off week. So, coaching wise, what should you be looking for from your teams during the tip off weeks? Reminder, these games do not count. So, what coaches should be trying to get out of these two games or one game, whatever they're playing this week?
Hmm. Uh, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Conditioning.
I think that I guess one thing is, for the first 2 weeks, you kind of been working on you know, game type situations, I guess. So now you get to kind of take a little dry test run on different game situations. You scrimmage against each other, and it's one thing to scrimmage when first team know what the second team doing, and vice versa. It's another thing to kind of put it out there when y'all all on the same side and doing it against somebody else. So being able to do stuff in game situations, to me, it's almost like a controlled scrimmage almost. And so to be able to do it against other people, for some teams, you can start to kind of get an idea of your rotation. But for other teams, you won't be able to because you ain't gonna have everybody. So depending on what you got, um, you can kind of get a gauge if you got because early on it seemed like more teams play more people early on just to kind of get an idea of who can do what because everybody can be a practice superstar, shirt or short superstar, but when when the lights come on and they're blowing whistles and they keeping score, what can a guy do in a certain situation? So I think it's a chance to kind of get an idea of how guys look in certain game situations that you've been working on, and depending on if you got all your kids or not, to kind of start look at your rotation as far as how guys handle minutes and things of that nature. So that's the short answer, I guess.
Oh, plus you got to like try to get a feel of like who can play well with each other in the game situation as far as rotation. Especially from the young, from your newer cast. Be important. You can work on if you got the game situations where your game is close. You can work on different scenarios that you have. Um, but rotations will be something that will be important just from what you practice with the first and second unit and who plays well together. Just depends on how much you care about winning those games.
Tuma, speak on how you would look at it from a player standpoint.
Players, just yeah, I mean, treat it like a real game situation. Work on all the stuff you worked on during the summer. This is a time that you can kind of test your individual skill sets out. Um, you should be treating it like it's a regular game.
Okay.
Do you?
Because I'm gonna tell
Is
you,
it?
bro, at Lake Wells, at Lake Wells, 4 years I never played in a preseason game because
You
we
never
was
what?
always in the. I never played in a preseason game for basketball, never. We was always in the playoffs for football and deep runs into the playoffs. I never played in a preseason game ever.
Well, what's name is taking that approach this year. You're not playing in a preseason game. Lakeland decided not to do a preseason tip off.
And you know
And I
what?
know,
I actually disagree with that with him. And I understand he wouldn't have his players, but it's a great opportunity for them other kids to get some playing time. I mean, the games don't count, coach.
but
Kids.
coach, you just said that you didn't do it though, so you disagree with him doing it, but
No,
you did it.
no. As a player, I did not play in any preseason games because I was
Oh,
playing
you said
football.
as a coach that you
As a
did do.
coach, we still play.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I mean
okay,
preseason games they don't
okay. I
count.
thought you. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
I mean they
I
don't
mean,
count.
I agree with you on that. And so when Coach said it, I mean, I get it. I get it because he got so many kids that do play football, and I guess his thing is, I guess it's two coins to that. It's like if you gonna have I don't know, say an 8, 9 man rotation, and 6 of those guys or 7 of those guys are on playing football, do you really want to? I don't know, build false hope with those other 6 or 7 guys you're gonna play for them 2 nights that you know ain't gonna be playing when you do get the guys. That's one take on it. And the fact that he had scheduling games until December, it's not like he's gonna be playing games without those guys because he scheduled it not to play
Mhm.
games conceivably. So it wouldn't have been a thing like, okay, we got 3, 4 games before we would get them, and so I need to have them playing because I gotta fill them bodies. He made a decision not to play tip off or any game. So it's not like he's gonna have those guys because he's not gonna be playing any game. So I guess from that standpoint, it don't really hurt him or it don't really like I mean, I won't say it don't matter, but it don't really hurt
Yeah.
him as much as you would think. You know what I'm saying? Based off of
Flip
how he's
side to that. Flip side to that. You never know what injury is gonna look like, and you may find a diamond in the rough. You know what I'm saying? Like you put them in a situation, and you just might find out about something about a kid. Like I didn't know. So now that kid, probably plays himself into the rotation. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying? But like
true.
I said, these games don't count. So why wouldn't you play? You know what I'm saying? But I respect him and what he's doing and the logic behind it. I totally understand about him not scheduling a regular season game.
Yeah.
But I would have played preseason.
right. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I would have played too because even if 6 of my 8 guys or 7 of my 9 guys are playing football, I still can get work for them two that's gonna be in the rotation.
Mhm.
So from that logic, I would have also, but I mean, I get his thought process, but I
He
probably would
didn't
have.
want no sausage.
He didn't want no sausage.
He didn't want no sausage.
Why are people scared to get the sausage, man? Am I saying that right? Do I need to pause? I know that's one of the things.
Oh,
Oh, it's
One of
all
the things
right.
for
It's the
pause,
preseason.
pause everything you say. So if I need to pause, then I'm pausing. But it's like
oh.
you just never know what you're supposed to pause, unpause, play, stop. I don't know. But I guess if you on a what you call it, retribution. I don't even know if that is revenge, if that's the right word, type season. You ain't trying to give an inch preseason tip off, nothing, I guess. And maybe that's coach mindset. I mean, I ain't talked to him, but maybe that's the thought process. I ain't playing nobody without my people. And that's if that's the way he driving his bus, then there ain't much you do with it. But that's what it sounds. That what it seemed like, cause
Yeah.
like he got 2 guys that ain't playing. Like, cause you just look at it. Strickland, Drew Strickland, he ain't played all last year. So 2 games could probably could help him because and it get him more clock to
Mhm.
kind of get caught back up. Now, I mean, the 2 games gonna catch him up, but still, he would be back out there in competition because he didn't play last year. So them guys could have helped him. You
Could
know,
have helped him.
they could have helped him. So I guess you got one kid that could have helped, and you balance it out with everybody else. So I don't know. I would have played them too if it was me, but I understand, but I would have lined it up to and just saw what happened with my. Cause what's name did that last year? Didn't was it last year when they even lined up? Woodside played with all his like JP guys, which at the time we didn't know JP and Isaac was gonna be. Well, y'all probably did. I didn't know it, but JP was gonna be who they was gonna be. So you look back at it, he really
Yeah.
didn't. He wasn't really missing as much as we thought. Um, but at the time, before they played, you didn't know they was gonna be what they ended up being. So from that logic, and I know he got some freshmen running that's not playing football. So I wonder if
It
he
don't matter.
regretted that.
They got all their football players. Remember, they had all their football players early.
No,
Freshman get cut out.
remember when the Haven game, the first tip off, they didn't play like Roy told them they didn't play.
Yeah.
I know they played over in Lakeland, and it was Isaac played, JP
Mhm.
played. It was like young guys played. And I'm sitting there, we didn't know who they was. Well, I mean, y'all probably knew, but I didn't know who they was, and they ended up playing well. We were like, dang, these freshmen playing real good, and they end up being Isaac and JP. So, but let's see, Blake early, early with it. But I mean, that's a good take though. So I guess I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Um,
Because in 2012, we played the preseason, but our first game wasn't until like November 30th. So,
and like that, his first game at the December 4th. So I mean, he ain't playing at all. So I mean, he got him a lot quicker than he thought. He got plenty of time. He got more time to get him caught up than he thought he was gonna have. I mean, he hate to say that and hear that, but I mean, it is what it is.
Okay, so the two mistake. Before we go to the two mistake, like I said, this show is sponsored by. I want to say it, Barnes. You said I don't want to say it.
Perseverance Track Club.
Track Club and Coach Ladarius Higgins, the athletic director at Kathleen High School. Uh, and then we got old talking cute dog over here. Got all the sausage put in him. So he want to go ahead calling me out. With all that sausage, me and you call Billy D. He got that mean sausage put in him, but he come like up two down.
remember you said he was 12 points when he got off the bus. He was down 12.
Yeah. He was down
He
12.
just left my house too. He said he was gonna be on your head, bro.
Hey,
Coach AB. It's just some
He
juice,
said he was gonna
some
be on
juice,
your head, bro.
juice for the evening. That's all, Coach AB. Just not your. Look at look at Strick. He gonna be relentless too.
I know, right? I
Uh,
ain't hey, who did he play the other day? Clewiston or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say go Clewiston. I ain't gonna be hating on.
Close and 12, you or 14, you whatever. They at Bryant Stadium right now. They got the Mid Florida Super Bowl going on. That thing like a whole production out there. They
Oh, for
playing
real?
they playing the Northeast Rattlers right now from Main City. So hopefully Northeast Rattlers pull it out. Shout out, man, while we on Little League football for a second. Shout out to the 12U Polk County Mamas and the 14U Southwest Saints, man. They both went over to Corey yesterday and won. They made it to the Final Four for their conference for the Florida Elite. Like I said, I think the Lakeland Destroyers won their championship today, and I know Northeast Rattlers is playing right now. They started like I guess about an hour ago. So there's a lot of Polk County teams that's doing well in their two conferences this year. So shout out to all those young men as they try to um
No, the Rock got that sausage. Hey, where I almost when it got the pack of the sausage, put my hand in the hole, but I would have had to say pause too many times. Hey, B, he got he got the mean one put in him, but he gonna say go nose. He still pulling it out of him, boy. Me and Billy D tried to help him today. He can't. He drove all the way over there talking about he needs some help from somebody.
oh man.
Hey, so my question to y'all, Billy D, and I think this is a real good question because we just witnessed it with Walt, and I know Walt was Lake Wells till he died. That's kind of what came out Walt's mouth.
Still is.
Yeah, again, there ain't nothing changed. So for him to make the move, when does loyalty cost you, and does it do more damage than good when it comes to transferring, or is the pride thing something that could end up hurting you?
If AB and Billy, is AB and Strick trying to come on the show? Oh man, we won't never
Man,
be. We let them in here.
no, bro. And then we can't bleep out nothing.
I want to say, bro, this a family show with AB and Strick, but ain't gonna be nothing family about. Ain't gonna be nothing PG about that conversation. Go ahead, I'm my bad.
You know what, Corey? That's a great question, man. And usually when it comes to men, especially, pride comes before the fall. And Walt made a business decision that was gonna catapult his career, and in the end, it was the right decision. You know what I'm saying? And loyalty, we have seen where loyalty have killed kids
Yeah, we've
that
seen it too, and that's what we're
probably
saying. Like,
should have left, and then now
Uh oh. Uh
Billy,
oh.
froze up.
Don't get him.
Well, my thing is like, and I think it's more so that
and
parents got to make the right choices because, for example,
I don't know when.
you don't know when.
You going in
Say
and out.
again.
You freezing, coach. So we ain't getting there. All your comments. Hello, can you hear me? Can we get a bottom? So Miss Cam to you. I guess I'm saying I don't know if I'm saying your right name right, but she say definitely hurt when they went with loyalty. So
Yeah, that's one of my assistant coaches
okay,
from when I coached at Lake Wells, because I knew they eventually moved Lil David to Bartow his senior year, and they lost in the championship game. So
Who lost in the championship game?
I'm thinking when Bartow lost in the championship game, I guess Oviedo, I think it was, back in like 14 or 15. No, it might have been 13.
They
It's like
left
13 or
Bartow and went
14.
to
I
Lake.
can't remember which one it was.
Oviedo,
Yeah,
I think was
he
14.
left Lake
So he
Wells and
left
went to Bartow.
Barstow.
And
Yeah, he
Bartow
played
lost
that
them.
1 year under Randy Lee, and I don't think it went
So he
well.
went to Bartow or he left Bartow?
He left Lake Wells and went to Bartow.
And it didn't go good for him.
He went to state, so that
No,
was good. That wasn't good.
no, they were saying. I think she's saying the year that they stayed was because they were loyal,
Oh,
and
so they
it
should
hurt.
have left
They should have
early.
they should
Yeah.
have went in 13, not
Yes.
14. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, to answer your question, Coach Akers, yeah, Tyler. I mean, along the same lines, Tyler made a great decision to go over to Lakeland. I mean, it looked like a genius move. He didn't go with the intention of going to receiver, but that turned out to be gold with him. I mean, what he got? He up to like 10 offers now, 10 major
He
D
got at
one.
least 10.
Yeah, so I mean, and they like he ain't got like no bubblegum offers. He got like real deal like compatible offers. So yeah, that was a great move for him. So I guess at that point it wasn't loyalty. It's just like okay, she said 13. She should have went in 13.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And the thing is, you got to identify early. The earlier you identify that you need to make a move, you know what I'm saying, you have to go ahead and make that move and live with that decision, good or bad.
So let me ask y'all this, because this has always been the words that have traveled around. Let's say Lake. Let's use Lakeland, the city of Lakeland as an example. I'm gonna use Kathleen High School, and I'm gonna use Lakeland High School. All right, I know when I first was coming in, you had a lot of Kathleen kids when Kathleen really wasn't as good in football, but you had a lot of them going Division One. This is like before the strict era, but you had a lot of kids like Freddie Mitchell, Desmond Clark. All these guys were going Division One for football, right? And the word was always with Lakeland. Yeah, they do all the winning, but none of the kids were going to a big school. All right, this was early 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s. All right, now you get the switch now to where you got Lakeland poured in a lot of Division One. A lot of kids are getting Division One offers, right? Um, but you know the say is they only care about you during football season or whatever. If you graduated from Catholic high school as a parent and your kid is have the opportunity to be in a position to be like the star receiver, like a Tyler, a star running back, when does the pride like is it so serious with the school that you decide, hey, I'm not gonna go to this school because it's Lakeland, or like I'm not gonna go to this school because it's Bartow, compared to I'm gonna do what's best for the situation and get my kid more notice at the end.
Man, it used to be that way. Definitely 80s and 90s, it definitely was that way. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's that way now. I don't. They don't have the same loyalty that their parents and stuff have, and I don't think the parents have that same loyalty anymore. You know what I'm saying? In the end, they're gonna do what's best for their child, and that's why the transfer portal is probably a lot more active than what it should be. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of kids moving that shouldn't move, and then it's kids that should move that are staying. It's kind of backwards. But
I
I
just
don't think it's a wrong or right answer. In the end, whatever decision that you make, you're gonna have to live with, good or bad, and it's nobody else's fault. You know what I'm saying? You make that move and it don't work out for you. You gotta eat that. You gotta own that. And if it does work out for you, I
well,
mean, great.
I just found this out Friday at the game, and I didn't know this, but there's there's two ways that you can transfer. You can transfer, if you get into an academy at a school, then you can do the move in, where you kind of like automatically can start. But they added a third one. I guess they didn't. They ain't just added. They been did it, but I just found out about it Friday that they have like a 2 or 3 week period in February where you can just straight up transfer for athletic reasons. I don't want to be at school A. I want to transfer to school B, and all the principal got to do is approve it, and you can go as soon as he or she approved the transfer.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this, Barnes. I can play football at Lakeland, right? And then once the season over with, I can go over to Kathleen and play basketball. As long as you don't play with Kathleen in basketball during the summer. A
Yeah,
lot of people don't. Yeah,
man, you
you
might be
can.
getting. Hey, cut, pause. Y'all might be telling something that gonna change the game around here, man. We're not gonna get
But the
these.
thing is, it's once again like we talked about at the game Friday. This apparently is like common knowledge. I just found out about it Friday. I'm sitting there talking to my guy. And he's like, yeah, coach, that's been in place for like 3, 4, 5 years now. I'm like, well,
Yeah, when they made that rule change, that law change that you can transfer, that's when it went into effect. Like I said, I've talked to people from the state level as well as the local level. Like I can literally, like for instance, Tyler them right. They just transferred to Lakeland, right from Winter Haven. Say they don't play for him during the summertime. They just work out for basketball. They never played for Lakeland. They could go over to Lakeland, play football, and then after the football season, go back to Winter Haven as long as Winter Haven is not at capacity. And that's any kid. As long as the school's not at capacity and they accept them in, they could
that's what
play.
I heard. That's what I heard. I'm just like, well, so now kids ain't gotta try to bite dough no more. They ain't gotta worry about nobody pulling up no residence check. You just wait February for them
No,
3 weeks, and you get in, and you
I
still
mean, but you
try
got
to
to
get that
provide your
football.
own transportation.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what happened that time with the. That's what Coach Jameson said in the chat. That's what happened with the big kid. Remember a couple years ago when we was wondering about that, the Arbondale kid that was a pretty good basketball player. He went to Lake Gilson and played basketball. I mean football. Then still went back to Arbondale and played basketball.
That's what
That's
he did.
that's what he did. And I think they said from when the guy I was talking to Friday, he says only really 2 schools that normally be full. And I think what he said, it was schools that you don't even think about. I want to say he said Jenkins and Haines City maybe. But it
Probably
wasn't
so.
like it wasn't Lakeland, it wasn't Kathleen, it wasn't Auburn, it wasn't none of the schools. Winter Haven. He said they always have seats, so that's why you can do it, and it's not even an issue. And I'm like, you just broke the internet with that. I know. He was like, Coach, this been going on for years. It's like this ain't no breaking news, and
No,
people now
but
we know why
a lot of
people
people
now
don't
we know
know.
why kids get into these schools like that because of this new daggone. Well, they ain't new. Let me say it that way. They ain't new because of this rules. So because most schools not at capacity, so you can go. It's just the principal has to approve it, and some principals just approve it. Period. Some go look at discipline records, attendance records, all that stuff. Some people do research, but they kind of trying to screen who come in their school. But for some schools that are sports schools, they just coach, where he coming from? What he just did? All right, it's a rubber stamp, and they in time. They still got 2 months before spring, so they get there and get in the weight room. They get there and get conditioning, and they just jump right in. So I
And
that's
you know what's
crazy.
funny, Barnes? I play football, so I go to Lakeland and play football. I go to Catalina and play basketball. After basketball season, I can transfer back to Lakeland and play spring ball. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's
And
crazy.
so
But
my thing on that is for y'all guys, y'all coaches and ads in the chat, and you Billy D, you pretty knowledgeable about this stuff. What's what is the gist of the intent of creating that? Because you can imagine the mess it will cause. You creating the daggone transfer portal. You creating the whole issue of non-loyalty, like bro was just asking about. With this, so it's you don't even have to like sneak in the back door. You just walk right in the front. Hey, I'm here. You know, you ain't gotta hide your face or nothing. So what's the whole point of it? Cause they trying to like kids don't want to be there, and they trying to take away the barriers for people being able to make kids stay where they don't want to be. I mean, what is the I don't what's the how can we be equitable with a rule like that? I guess is my question.
I agree. I'm with you. But when it becomes tricky, when it becomes, a situation where it's not right, is when coaches are involved trying to get those kids to come. You know what I'm saying? Or some type of illegal recruiting. You know what I'm saying? So if the kids doing it on their own, fine. But coaches shouldn't be, contacting the kids, telling
Gotcha.
them to do this and do that. That's not right. And I'm
Okay.
against that. But
Okay.
if the kids doing it on their own, that's fine. I mean, that's
So
what the rules are there for.
I didn't
So
think about that, Mike.
before, I know we talked about this before. So after the loyalty, when does reality kick in for the kid and the parent?
After they don't get the offers, after they done and the people ain't lining up to get them. But Mike made a good point. I guess they trying to fight charter schools, so they trying to make it easier for you to go to a different school. They'd rather that FT. Now here we go with the money, because
Yeah.
for y'all the FTE money follow the kids. So I would rather the FTE money stay in the district, even if it would mean going to Winter Haven to Lakeland, as opposed to going to Winter Haven to Collegiate, because I don't want that money or Winter Haven to McKeel, because now that money is leaving the district. So, but to your question, that's a real good point, Mike. But and that's probably why they put it in. That makes sense now because it's all about money at the end of the day. But as far as when does it kick in? It don't kick in, boss, because everybody believe it until it's over. Does that make sense? Like everybody believe that they gonna go D1 until they don't go D1. So when does it kick in? Most times it kicks in when it's way too late. It's way past coming back from. If that makes sense, they hang on too long, and then they stuck with nothing. And then now you start finger pointing at the coach. The coach ain't doing his job. He don't care about the kids. They don't the program this and all. That's when all that come out way after the fact.
So Barnes, let's
Have
go
y'all?
back to something Toomer said, a while ago, especially when it comes to basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's not many kids going D1 because of what they do in high school. You know what I'm saying? It's what you're doing for the travel ball circuit. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like we try to think about it like the last time when has a kid went D1 that wasn't on the travel ball circuit from Polk County, and we couldn't think of it. Like we really couldn't think of it. So if you have aspirations to play D1, then you're gonna have to be on one of these elite travel ball teams. I mean, you can't blame your high school coach for that.
He's the only one that I know of.
It's
But
not the high school coach fault.
Blight, to answer your question, an example of illegal recruiting, I would think. Now, I haven't, I don't know this to be sure, be fact, but say if a kid is at home, just playing his video game, watching TV, whatever, and a coach that is not his coach comes to his house to talk to him and his parent about coming to their school. I think that could be considered illegal recruiting, especially in this day and age when everybody got like Ring doorbells and everybody got got all these video doorbells and people got it on tape. So if you're going to somebody else, if you're going to a player's house that's not your player and trying to get him to come to your school, then I think that could be one example of illegal recruiting. Y'all may know more than that, but
Yeah, it can be that way. It can be messages, any type of communication, but it also can be communication from the kids also. So the kids can be contacting other kids saying, "Hey, come here." I mean, technically, that's considered illegal recruiting also.
Yeah, Mike, I know it's happened too. I've had a couple coaches say that coaches came to their house, and the parent they got it on tape because of the doorbell. That Ring doorbell record everything. So it's like this day and age, you can't even sneak up to nobody's house no more and try to do like you used to do. You gotta.
The head coach doing it, or assistant coaches, or what?
Well, the two instances I got was head coaches. It was two head coaches that the mom got them on the ring the Ring video doorbell. So you can't say it wasn't me.
Billy D, you want to know about the doorbell, would you?
Nah, bro. I'm not a head coach for one. You know what I'm saying? I ain't recruiting nobody.
Oh man. So a kid, I thought if a kid talked to another kid, that can't be considered recruiting though. Kids talk all the time. I thought it was just grown ups.
No, I think it's kids too.
Because I know for a fact that when it was a kid that was at Kathleen that ended up at Lakeland one year for football, it was the kids that was recruiting the kid, quote unquote. Now the coaches might have been involved too, but I know for a fact the kids was like pulling up, having conversations or whatever the case may be.
Why y'all ain't tell me about this? Why y'all holding that back from me? Think I'm exposed people?
What you talking
about this? I ain't never heard of this. Coaching
this was years ago. You knew about it, bro. You knew about it. And it was your cousin. And it's gone, it's all and gone now, but it was your cousin. Your cousin that was at Kathleen and
that's what was going to his house?
No. This is different. I'm talking about this when the kids was talking to him.
Oh, I don't think kids. I mean, that probably is legally what he's saying, but in the reality, kids talking to kids.
Yeah, but somebody got to turn it in though, Barnes. You know what I'm saying? If nobody turns it in, then they're not going to look into that.
The kids is, I don't think, and Coach K was saying parents and players recruit, but that's not illegal either, right? If a parent talks to a kid, the only time to get illegal is if it's somebody representing your program, like a coach or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Other stuff is not really.
I got another one for you. I'm on the road today. Billy D, Vaughn, y'all both was head coaches before, right? If a kid plays with you, then he decides he doesn't want to play with you anymore, and is publicly told people he's transferring. All right, whether it's legal or illegal, are you willing to turn that kid in?
No.
I
help him pack if we need to.
I had a kid that was telling folks that he was going to leave and go to another school in the county. I won't say the kid name. Most people on here watching will probably know. And because he didn't like my style of coaching, he felt like I catered to the fire kids, quote unquote, which was crazy because he was a fire kid. But in any event, he had an issue with it. and he made it known he was going to transfer and he was leaving. Didn't show up to the photo shoot and none of that stuff. And so I reached out to the coach that was being said he was going to, and told him he coming. He on the way. I wish him well. I went to the AD. I said, "What papers do I need to sign for him to be gone? Because I'm not in the business of keeping nobody who doesn't want to be with me or who doesn't want to play with me." Now the kid ended up coming back and playing, but if you want to go, then more power to you. So no, I'm never gonna stop a kid from leaving if he or she wants to leave. I have no problem. So no, I'm not gonna turn a kid in. That's your decision. That's what you want to do, but you got to live with it now. But usually that grass not green on the other side. But no, hell, before kids even got to me, and this was a big mess when you first was getting here good in Polk County. It was 3 kids supposed to came to me. It was well known, and would have been great. There you go. would have been game changing kids. And it was known they weren't coming to me. They were great kids, and so I was at Jenkins at the time, and Jenkins turned them in. The football coach and the AD turned them in, and the Jenkins coach people got mad at me because I wouldn't sign off on it. Because I'm like, hell, you knew they was coming to your school? Yeah, I know. They stay 2 doors down from one of my kids right now. I know they've been playing with the 5 for 4 or 5 years. I created the 5. I know they supposed to be coming. But I ain't gonna run behind no kid and bring no kid to come that don't want to come. But they turned them in, and the crazy thing is, in the streets, my name was in the street like I turned them in. So even with some of my friends in the 5, I had to straighten people in the 5 about the mess. I had to straighten one of the kids' dad in the dentist's office. I mean, not dentist, in the allergy doctor office about it. And then when it came out that I didn't, now people backtracking. So I've had experience on both sides of it. I ain't never finna run behind nobody to play for me.
How long it took before it came out that you wasn't involved?
Hell, midway through the season. At that point, I was done talking to anybody. My thing is, y'all know me. So if y'all got to question me on anything like that, first of all, I ain't finna stop no kid from doing nothing. But if y'all think I'm on some mess like that, then y'all you know what you can do, you know where you can go. So that's kind of how I ran it. But then they end up
Mike say you were dry snitching.
No, I ain't. I'm telling you, I'm just telling you, it is what it is. I ain't saying no names. But listen, how I'm dry snitching when they was the ones, bro. I on door, bro. They turned them in and they had to sit. But it came out because all that stuff is public record, so it's written down who name on the stuff, who turned the stuff in. So you had to get the actual paperwork to see my name on it. So my word wasn't good enough. Yeah. It's me being who I am. My word wasn't good enough that I had nothing to do with the mess. But if that's how you want to run it, then I know you and Mike, and they know. So
the streets had you flandered though, boy. The streets had you.
Bro. And I'm like, this me now. This me, bro. So I done been on both sides of it. So I ain't been around.
We got turned in 2011 for Kevin Capers. Somebody turned it in to Gainesville that it was illegal for him to transfer to us. Like, 1, we was charter. Lake was the charter. And 2, basically Lake Region told him he couldn't come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I got an idea who turned it in, but we don't know for sure.
Whose idea? Well, y'all boys tough in these streets, boy. Y'all out people.
I mean,
I guess that's why I'm so disliked. I be naming everybody. I be saying them.
My thing. When was that at Jenkins? My Jenkins, that was my
coach. What Coach Saul that Larry Region in?
Who?
Bro,
when Kevin came over.
Yeah, when Kevin came over, who was the head coach?
Crawford was the coach then.
Crawford did it.
The sad thing was it wasn't even him. Crawford called me, bro. Crawford was like, bro, you got to take this kid because he can't play here no more.
Hey.
Bro, this is the thing. This was back in 03, 04, bro, when that happened at Jenkins. My first year at Jenkins, bro, that mess happened. And
bro, I heard you did it, dog. I couldn't be. Hey.
So you had the street. You was right there with the streets, son. You thought I did it too?
No, I heard you did it. I ain't.
Yeah, you was right there with the street. You hear him talking Billy D. You was right there with the street. The street had a nigga. boy, I had to almost. I gotta remember this is a family show, man. See, Lord, keep me, Lord, keep me near the cross. I'm trying to do right. I'm trying to. Now, so that's
This
why I
is
got
my
right.
fault, bro.
Hey,
This is all Tuma fault.
Hey, y'all remember that clip when if y'all guys that watch wrestling, y'all remember Booker T when he was on TV and they were interviewing him and he slipped and he kind of had a little and he's off. That's what I just did. So I apologize to y'all. That's not Polk Hoops. I came a long way from them from 0304, but back then 0304, I anybody who had it, they got it. That was when I was. That's before I got right and got myself together. But yeah,
What's
man.
Coach Strick at? Coach Strick at? I heard he was dry snitching one time.
It's gonna be all over everything tomorrow. That I don't slipped up right now. Let's look at the comments. So hey man, I ain't perfect. God's still working on me. But to answer your question, man, as far as try to get myself back professional, loyalty. For me, I'm not turning no kid in. If you're not happy, it's just like with me at work, bro. Like as an administrator, I'm never gonna stop a teacher or an employee for leaving if they feel like they got a better opportunity. They feel like they're not happy here. I don't want you to be because if you hear you're not happy, I'm not gonna get your best. The kid's not gonna get your best, and we're gonna be in. So I'm gonna give you a good recommendation, even if you're the worst employee ever. Yeah, he or she was great. She'll be great for you. And maybe your new start will help you to be a better person. So I've never been in the been as a holding people hostage, be it a kid on the team or a grown up working for me. So I never have, I never will. But it's just amazing how folks so quick to and like I said, for a minute, I was a little blowed. I was a little hurt that like some of the cats that was believing that mess was folks I thought, but you learn, like we talked about this weekend at the game. You learn, you live and you learn. So I just knew I started moving different, but I addressed it. Once I addressed it, then it's on you. And then you ain't I don't deserve, I'm not looking for your apology. My bad. I should because if you know me, it should have never got that point to start with. You know what I'm saying? It should have been, nah, that's Corey, man. That ain't even nigga ain't well, I did it again. I ain't trying to let me shut up, man. Go ahead.
I say it just showed the true character of people and how they listen. Honestly, it wasn't important enough for me to like be trying to say it was true or not. I've heard it. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, you told me a while back that my name was traveling around about kids being transferred to Kathleen. You remember me say my name was ringing bells in the county, and I was never coaching. I think I was coaching AAU with Team Stat, but it was like I was getting all the basketball kids to go to Kathleen or something. Remember you told me about that? And I thought you were joking, but you were like, your name traveling around the county about recruiting. And I'm like, I don't even.
But see, like with that, with you, it's one thing for me to let you know that's what's being said. It's another thing for me to believe you actually doing it because I know you. You know what I'm saying? That I guess that was my thing. Like if you telling me, hey man, they got your name in that mess out there, Jenkins, saying you turned them kids in and they can't play. Okay, you brought it to me, appreciate it. But then in the next sentence, you on the side that you believe that mess, man. That's messed up what Corey did. Hold on now. That's messed up what Corey did. What you mean what Corey did? Corey did nothing. So, you know what I'm saying? But so at some point I just like, you know what? I ain't gotta prove myself to nobody, anybody who know me, know what time it is with me. So I let it go at that point. So like I said, I lost some friends. I got them back, but I lost some friends on that because I just moved away from it. And you know what? Yeah, he got it. Yeah, he got to he got to activate because boy, he kind of. But anyway, you know what I'm saying.
Now listen, now back in 07, 08, whatever that year was, I moved my little cousin down here. He went to Kathleen, and again, all we knew was Kathleen. That's when Kathleen had the dominant. So you're saying Lakeland? You asked me where to go to school at? I would just
But
say
no, but thing is that's different. That's different because I did say
Kathleen. I'm Kathleen, so I'm like, yo, go to Kathleen.
But that's different though, because this is the thing. You did that was best interest for your family. That was your just
no. What I'm saying, even if somebody asked me, like if someone was to ask me, like when I came here in '95 and was playing for Coach Gibbons, when we was at Florida Southern, Jay was in high school at Kathleen. BB, Alvin, Freddie, Shaw. These are the kids that were, you know what I'm saying, we were going to watch because those were Jay friends. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
you looking at us like, okay, Coach Gibbon was like a father figure to us. We not going to find out who's playing in Lakeland other than going to watch Kathleen. And then Jamie came on board. We'll go watch Jamie. Me and Jimmy, my roommate was from Haines City. I'll go watch Haines City when they play big rival games. But as far as Lakeland, I only knew about Kathleen at that time. You get what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I was still at Florida Southern. So coming out of school, who was the dominant program in Lakeland for basketball? So if someone was to ask me, I'm like, yo, you go to Kathleen. I mean, I wouldn't know nowhere else to tell you to go when you're talking about basketball at that time, you know. So,
But
like if kids ask a question about where should I go for football or where should I go for basketball, well, I have a great relationship with Shaw. I have a great relationship with Hen. You know what I'm saying? I got a great relationship with Jen. So I got three guys that I got great relationships with. I can't say go. All of them do great for me. Like I'm supportive of all of them. So I wouldn't pick and choose on where they should go. I'm leaving out one of the guys that I got a great relationship to. I stay out of that. For football, it's your best decision. What's the best choice for you?
and you did the best decision for your cousin going to Kathleen.
I was illegally zoned for somewhere else.
But it was family. But see, by the same token, and I got dragged. I didn't get dragged as bad. I didn't get dragged as bad as I did with them kids from back in the day. But when CJ came over with me, and I took CJ to Lake Gibson, I got dragged. I got dragged by the Kathleen people, bad. You know, I ain't bringing the Kathleen, this kind of stuff. The situation at Kathleen wasn't the best situation, in my opinion, for CJ. What I'm trying to what we trying to do, where we trying to go, how we trying to move, and that was tough because Jack, you know, God bless, Jack was a principal. And me and Jack, like we brothers pretty much. So that was a tough conversation, but he understood. And like I told him, now if Strick was there, then that would have been totally different. Strick wasn't there, and so he ended up at Lake Gibson. And anybody who know me know I'm Kathleen uptown and around the side, but I had to make the best decision for my son, and it was Lake Gibson, and it wasn't it was business. So now was I dragged? I was dragged, and I had to take it. But my whole thought process was that was the best situation for him, and I had to take me out of it. It wasn't about me and what I'm loyal to, is what's best for him. So I get that from a parent standpoint.
That's the whole point of what we've been talking about now. Because for me, I was loyal to the Kathleen training, and Taylor was one of my teammates my first year at Florida Southern. I walked in and he was a Florida Southern Mark. You get what I'm saying? So Coach Gibbon, when he left Florida Southern, where did he go help coach at? He went and helped the coach Kathleen. So I was on the loyal to Kathleen.
Kathleen was family to you. It was family.
You were loyal to Kathleen, but as a parent, you made that decision that, hey, for the best interest of my kid, he needs to go to Lake Gibson. We're saying that that's a new trend right now, but we're seeing kids kids and parents who are making that poor decision of, oh, I'm Lake Gibson for life, or I'm Kathleen for life, or I'm Lakeland for life, and then 4 years after that, man, I wish I would have went such and such, and you want to blame everybody except the decision that you made. So the accountability is not on. I wouldn't say don't put the accountability on the coach when you're not putting accountability on yourself for making the poor decision to stay.
Great point.
And it's like what Billy D just said. Everybody wants to blame the favoritism. And again, because you're on the show, I know a lot of five. Everybody say, "Oh, the five. They got five favorites. They five favorites." And I'm not going there because of the five, because they play with the five. I know they're not gonna play my kid. If your kid good, the hell with the five. I'm playing the kid that's the best kid. You get what I'm saying?
We're trying to win now.
We trying to win. I have yet to see a program where a kid can play and his parents or him are not bad, don't have bad attitude, where a coach just not putting them out there to play and they trying to win. But for some reason we get that, they showing favoritism. When we start saying, to me personally, I might hurt some feelings with this one. When we start saying it's favoritism and they playing the kid that ain't better and the coach got favoritism with this, that means your kid ain't good enough to play anyway. When your first mindset is based on the favoritism thing and your kid ain't playing, drink on up. Drink on up. That means your kid ain't good enough anyway. What you
Or
looking at?
maybe he's not doing what he's supposed to do in practice. You don't
No.
you didn't earn those minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Ain't no coach sitting their best players. I don't know.
coach sitting their
And
best players.
six
Hey,
you
no
up
coach
the
trying
college.
to send their best players to
Ain't
say,
no coach
you
sitting their
got
best
fire
players.
kid because he fired.
Ain't no coach. If a kid better than a fire kid, they ain't sitting no fire kid if they kid can play. That's just spirit. My first year at Jenkins, Corey Rankins was ended up being second team all county. And I had fire kids, but Corey Rankins was my best player. And you think I was sitting him because he didn't play with the fire? Hell no, he played. He averaged 17 a game. He was second team all county, and I ain't know Corey from a can of paint before I got to Jenkins.
Yeah.
You know, so what I'm finna cause because I got other kids that play with the fire that's fine fellas that can play, but they wasn't better than him. So no, ain't no coach in America that's on purpose sending kids, and that's because of where they played travel ball at. Most high school coaches don't even put no stock in where you play travel ball at. They looking at you when you come. Some people you can probably get it can be a negative, but ain't no coach putting that much stock in it. You can play, you play it. I mean that's just
Just off Lakeland, the city of Lakeland alone, you always hear about the fire situation and why a kid not playing it because they letting the fire kids play. I mean, hell, I ain't seen
Yeah, bro.
fire kids come in and last. You know what I'm saying? For them to be feeling that way, like I just be thinking like either they don't know how to play organized basketball, they want to blame it on the fire, or they just don't. They just looking at who the head coach is, and that's the easiest scapegoat. You just say,
okay.
"Oh, we got fire ties," because again, I don't.
Maybe when there's deep fires, I remember Monty. I don't remember that, but I know he wasn't like I didn't just like Amar had to tell you that. I didn't remember Corey playing with the fire. I remember Amar playing with the fire, but I didn't remember Corey playing with you. I remember you had Amar, Horace, and all them trees, Leroy, and all them Vic and Dre and all them guys. I didn't remember Lance and all them. I didn't remember Corey, but that don't mean he didn't. I just know when he came to Jenkins, I never associated him with the fire. Not saying he didn't, I didn't. And so it wasn't. He can play. So yeah, we trying to win. So I'm gonna play. Who's gonna try to win?
And is that the other thing? Is it only fire kids that can play basketball in Lakeland? That's interesting because
Like other people ain't playing basketball.
like other people.
Some people take that as a negative. You got some people that
Like even Monty made the statement a week ago that Kathleen gonna be all right because they got a bunch of fire kids. Man, other schools don't give a damn about the fire. They ain't play for the fire. Listen, you think Lakewood or Lake Wells or somebody that ain't from this area gonna play the fire? Like, oh, they fire kids. They gonna play hard. They gonna try to beat the brakes out them and they don't care that they play with the fire.
Well,
That's like saying now, oh, they played with Space. Oh, them kids in St. Pete, they on Team Space. They gonna be, man, the legend ain't gonna come over there talking about, oh, y'all play with Space, we gotta respect y'all. They gonna beat the brakes off you regardless.
well, I'm when they come to the fire, I'm like insane. I'm insanely biased, so I'll back up from that. I will say that the fire now is not
The fire in the past, huh?
fire in the past, but
That's why they don't be invited you to the banquets, cause you be talking, you trying to discredit the fire now.
not discrediting the fire though, bro. I mean, I'm still, I'm gonna always be there. I mean, like Sean say, I mean, the fire on a lot of teams in the county, a lot of these young kids had good seasons. Like the Vast kid, you wouldn't know he played with the fire. He way over in Lake Wells, but he played with the fire. So I mean, you got they kind of they're around, bro. But anywho. So that was good. That kind of way you kind of jumped in. You went a couple different ways with that one. So good stuff. All right, before we continue, man, I want to say congratulations to
conversation. So you just gonna cut out the fire conversation, huh?
No, I'm good, bro. It'll stay in this conversation. I'm finna add.
I'm messing with you, bro. I'm just messing with you.
I see people talking about the fire in the chat. Rex and Joe, they not fire people. They not fire friendly.
Yeah, I didn't know I coach with the 5 too, but I'm gonna be the one that.
Yeah, no, you gotta keep it G. It ain't, the fire ain't always been. But I get what you're saying. It's like other people playing ball too. So I mean, respect the other teams, but I'm always ride with the fire. That's just off the top. Congrats to 2022 Santa Fe guard Trey Lane. He officially signed with St. Leo this week. So shout out to Trey Lane and his family, Coach Blicker, Santa Fe, and everybody. Congrats to you, man, and making it official. And so now you can just concentrate on having as successful a senior year as possible. So glad to see that. So my son CJ sent this to me earlier this week. So I told him we're gonna talk about it on the show. Tell him what y'all thoughts on this. He says, look at the 5 people out in the chat. The number one prospect in the class of 2022, kid named, y'all probably already read this, kid named Shaden Sharp. He announced that he's enrolling at Kentucky in January. So like in 2 months. He will not be eligible for the draft though, because he didn't graduate high school prior to the NBA season starting. He'll be eligible for NAIL deals though. So he's gonna leave in December, go in January, but he's not gonna play in January. He's just going to practice and be on campus.
Huh?
Yeah. So what are y'all thoughts on that? So he leaving. He gonna start in January. He's not going to be playing with Kentucky. He can't go in the draft because he didn't graduate high school before the season started. He's just essentially going to be there practicing, conditioning, lifting weights, and just being in the program. He is eligible for NIL deals, but he's not going to be eligible for the draft or anything like that. So, what are y'all thoughts of him leaving like that? What is?
Why can't he play? Because I've seen situations like that where they could actually play right away.
I didn't get why he couldn't play. I didn't get why he couldn't play. I just know CJ sent it to me, and that's kind of when I read. I didn't read, like I didn't go and like look at other articles. I just saw like the headline thing said he wouldn't play. He would be ineligible. I mean, he would be eligible for NIL deals. He's just essentially going to be there on campus, practicing with the team, in the weight room, conditioning, and getting bigger, fast, strong, I guess. But he's not going to actually play. So what are y'all take on that, and what's the point, and what's the trend with that? What's y'all thought on that all together?
Can I ask y'all this, because I don't know, I ain't really too deep into it. At least right now, I'm not. Is there a cap off on how much money you can make with the NIL?
No.
Oh, that's a great business move then.
Okay,
it's the same move that the quarterback from Texas made that went to Ohio State.
All right, so Coach Blicker said he said he read that he can play technically. He read sure, but if they need him, he'll play. So
that's what I was thinking, that he could, if he's enrolling, that he'll be eligible to play. That'd be up to Calipari whether he plays or not. My thing is it sounds like he has nothing else to accomplish at the high school level. You know, if you're going to Kentucky, that means you playing and practicing against 5 stars like every day. And I'm pretty sure they have top-notch training facilities. Also, with him going to college, they're going to always acknowledge that scholarship that they gave him. Because even if he's a one and done and he decides to go back to school, they're going to honor the scholarship that they gave him to go to Kentucky. So whenever he decides to finish his degree, you know, they'll honor that particular scholarship. But, you know, just like the NIL deals, you'll get more if you're not in high school. So it's definitely a business decision. He's an elite athlete. Like, he don't have nothing else to prove at this point. My thing is, if I can start taking care of my family now and start getting my education, like, why not? If I'm playing against 5 stars and McDonald's All-American every day, I'm gonna only get better. You know, so I support the decision. I've seen it happen before. I think if he can help Kentucky win a championship, I think he should play.
Yeah, it don't take game stats to improve.
Okay. Coach Jameson said he can't play, say he's not eligible, but he can practice and be with the team and get the NIL deals. So he just done with high school. There's nothing else left for him. I guess that's the thought process. I just thought that was interesting that you're gonna leave early and still not not play. You know what I'm saying? So, but I guess so now you're essentially giving up that your high school career. You say you're not going to be playing any games, but I guess at this point it's not about you playing games. I guess that's the thought. So now once again, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, how important is high school? High school is just losing its importance. It's all about travel ball and getting out as quick as you can, right? I mean, because you just giving up your last time being a high school kid. That's not. I mean, you can't go play at Kentucky, so that's not the draw of it. I guess sounds like. So what is the? I mean, I guess like you said, you're going to get money. I guess. But could he play in high school and still get the money? Because that Mike Williams dude just signed a deal with Puma, and he's still in high school.
It's probably different states got their own rules, and then with him, with the Mike Williams kid, he probably playing in a private school compared to playing in a public school. It's probably different little rules
it is. All states haven't approved that NIL stuff. I know it started in California, and I know Florida has passed it. It's only been a few states, not all states though.
And he's from Cali, right? But he just moved to North Carolina to go to a prep school.
I think so.
So it had to be. It was a loophole that was found in that for him.
Okay.
Oh, well, I got one more for y'all. Right? And then we can move on. I know we got the coaches thing. Should all schools, should Polk County schools, with the popularity of with the popularity and excitement that we're giving Polk County basketball, should all the Polk County schools, or at least the top 10, do a Midnight Madness? Would that be dope?
Say that again now.
Should they start doing a Midnight Madness? Like now it's too late because they're gonna start playing next week. But like looking into the future with the excitement of it, should they do like a Midnight Madness? Like I just saw the LeBron James Jr. them at Siena, they had a Midnight Madness.
I think a Midnight Madness, if you had multiple teams doing it, I think that'd be like great at like a college like environment like Polk or Florida Southern. I think that'd be great. I don't know if the coaches would sign off on it, but I think that would be. I don't know, and I don't know the liability of it, but I think just the on the surface, I think that'd be a great concept, man.
No,
the concept is great, but Gainesville is gonna make that difficult because most of the time those seasons start on like a Monday. So you're talking about like midnight, Sunday night, trying to have something.
No, so basically, I'm saying it doesn't have to be on the first open like an official college Midnight.
Oh, okay.
Let's say, all right, we can't get all the Polk County teams to play against each other, right? We know that's impossible. You know that's not gonna happen in the Tip-Off Classic. But we got some type of big blue, some type of atmosphere. But wouldn't it be dope if we can get like that first Saturday of the year where we got all of them like doing like a Midnight Madness?
It would be dope, but like you say,
dunk contest type of stuff.
It would be dope, but are we gonna all play together?
No, not at all.
Just think about it. When besides this year when we just did this photo shoot, when was the last time that Polk County played together like that you can remember? They played together so nice for this for this photo shoot. I'm still surprised that we even pulled it off, to be honest with you. When was the last time besides that Polk County coaches and teams played together? I still don't have, and it's not, I don't have to have them, but I still don't have everybody's schedule for the season because people don't want you to know where they're playing at this week. I still don't know people rosters because people don't want you to know who on their team. How long? People gonna know who on your team. It ain't gonna in a couple of days. So what you hiding? At this point, what you hiding? So we as in Polk County, we don't always hide. I mean, we don't always play nice. I think it's a great concept. I would love to see it happen. It would be great for the county. It would be awesome for the kids. But will it happen? I don't know if I'm as optimistic and I hate to say that, but I'm just dealing with because we've been trying to pull different things off with the county for the last 2 years since we started Polk Hoops. That folks don't really know about it. We've been trying to do that photo shoot for 2 years, and it just happened. So I would love to see it happen. I think it's a great idea. I just even past Gainesville, I ain't talking. If Gainesville said, "Yeah, stamp it, y'all go ahead and run it," I just wanted to once they give us the go, would it happen? Coach James said we would love to host a tip-off classic, but you got to have participation, buy-in, and folks that are open to doing it, and that just has not been.
We know. Bartow moves around and goes to play against elite competition for tip off. Now we know that in next year, this year, next year, or next year also, Coach Hen ain't gonna schedule no game to December. So it'll be hard for us to get like all of them. Then I'm sure Winter Haven and Santa Fe play against each other, right?
Yeah,
In the
I
season,
think so.
it's not gonna play. It's not gonna. It just wouldn't work. It would be dope if we had the top. If we had 4 of the top 5 in the tip-off classic.
Like the thing they do every year with Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, and Michigan State. They're going to be the 4 teams every year. I mean, even if you switch, even if you rotate the top teams every year, just the top 14. But Marlon, even that thing that Jim Missouri had at Kathleen, all the best dunkers wasn't there. Remember, go back and look at who was actually there. All the best shooters wasn't there. He had it.
The whole Santa Fe team didn't show up, and I think Joe probably was the highest. Joe and Walt. That would have been a dope one to see Joe and Walt dunk because Joe could get up.
Yeah, Joe and Javon, Joe and then Walt. And remember in Santa Fe they went to a game or something. They went to one of their former teammates or something like that. But everybody who could have been there and probably should have been there, even like the best shooters wasn't there. I think it was a couple of shooters that not just at Santa Fe, but at a couple other schools that didn't come. It was at Kathleen, but everybody didn't show up. Is the point.
Did we get the information that they weren't showing up because the game was at Kathleen?
That's what we got.
That's down there like as worse as when I tried to do the little turkey bowl thing and we had the football game going on Kathleen. You had Lakeland Dreadnought people talking about my team ain't playing it because it's at Kathleen. We got to be the most pettiest. Jesus Christ.
Well,
I forgot that, dog. That they real deal. That text message we saw was because the game was at Kathleen.
Yeah. So it's a great concept, Marlon, and Jimmy. You see, Jimmy tried it and he saw it. He can tell you about it. If we could all play in the sandbox, man, we could do so much. We could do so much, man. Huh?
Who was in? Martin said somebody was in Duval.
I guess he said Santa Fe was in Duval that night.
Wow, they was at a pro game or something. They went
to an all-star, all-American high school game or something that night.
Under Armour game.
Under Armour game, yeah.
That's what it was.
All American game, yeah.
What Blick at? Blick watching you just come in.
Yeah. So
Under Armour game. I know they went somewhere that was like an All-American game.
Yeah, he did a team.
He probably was in Jacksonville. Matter of fact, that's what he probably saying. The game was in Jacksonville.
No, another game being in Orlando. But so just to say, we would love to do it, Coach Jameson, and we got the green light from Gainesville. We would love to do it, and because once again, we ain't got no dog in the race. We just want the kids to shine. We want the teams to shine, the program to shine, the Polk County to shine. So we wouldn't have a problem doing it at all. But us wanting to do it and getting the buy-in would be two different setups. I mean, if it was happening, I can get it at Polk. That wouldn't be an issue. I mean, I work at Polk. So it could happen between, the logistics, the place to have it at. We got plenty of places we can have it at. It's just got to be it would have to be the buy-in from the participants to make it worthwhile. And I just, I don't know if we're there yet. We're not as progressive as other counties like an Orange or a Duval or Hillsborough or Dade or, some of these other counties. We're not there yet. Pinellas County, we're not there yet. So, Coach, I'm gonna change it over to you, Coach. Post it on the page this week. We started discussions about the top coaches, top coaches of all time, and I want to get your take on. Then we gonna after that we're gonna end with our football stuff. So I don't know if Strick's still on here. We're gonna end on the football recap from last week and then our picks for this week.
Um, I appreciate everybody that commented on the post. I really want to give it another week and see if we can get more coaches nominated because we was talking about picking the top 10. I don't think we did it as due justice. So we can encourage people to nominate.
Okay, gotcha. All right, before we pick before we do the football picks, want to just kind of run through the tip. You all know, like I told you, the tip-off classes start this week, so we actually get real games going. And I'm just going to run through the games that we have received at Polk. And I know, let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out. I know this is not all of the games, but all I'm gonna say right now are the games that have been sent to us. So if I don't say your team, I'm not coming for your team. I'm not sizing your team. I'm not trying to disrespect your team. It's just they didn't send it to us the information about where they playing at this week, so I can't talk about, post, or announce anything that hasn't been sent to me. Okay, full disclosure. So tomorrow night there are 3 games in Winter Haven. 5 o'clock, Arbondale plays Ridge. 6:30, Victory plays Frostproof. 7:50, Discovery plays Sebring.
You saying when the
It's in Arbondale.
Yeah, Arbondale High School. Arbondale High School, Monday night. Arbondale versus Ridge. Victory versus Frostproof. Discovery versus Sebring. Now, full disclosure, Arbondale is still in the football playoffs, so they won't have all their kids. Victory and Frostproof are still in the playoffs, so they won't have all their kids. Sebring is still in the playoffs, so they won't have all their kids. Okay, full disclosure. Tuesday night, McKeel is hosting the tip-off. McKeel is going to play Hardy, and McKeel is going to play Riverview. George Jenkins is over in Zephyr Hills. They're playing Nature Coast. Oasis is playing Cypress Creek. Santa Fe, I see right now in the chat. I'm going to write it down. Santa Fe is playing Leesburg Tuesday.
Are they going to Leesburg or Leesburg coming up here? That'd be dope. Are they going to? Where y'all playing at, Coach Blicker?
Put it in the chat. So, Coach Blicker, y'all going over there? Or they coming over here or what? I'll write it down now. But I didn't have it before. They play Jones on Thursday. Jones in the football. They're still in the playoffs for football, but that should be a good one too.
Leesburg should be a good one.
They at Leesburg, Coach.
Yeah. But Leesburg just lost in the playoffs, so I know Campbell not gonna have his kids ready.
In Leesburg, that's gonna be a good test though for them. So Santa Fe is in Leesburg, playing Leesburg Tuesday night. Wednesday, the second, they'll be back at Arbondale. It'll be Discovery versus Victory, Ridge versus Sebring, Arbondale versus Frostproof, and George Jenkins versus Zephyr Hills in Zephyr Hills. Thursday, Riverview versus Hardy at McKeel. McKeel versus Lake Wells. And Lake Wells won't have all their kids because they're still in the football playoffs. Thursday, Tampa Tech versus Kathleen. Kathleen going over to Tampa. Oasis at Ridgeview. Jones at Santa Fe, or Santa Fe at Jones in Leesburg. And then on Friday, Tampa Hillsborough versus Kathleen over in Tampa. That's what we have for the tip-offs for next week. If you didn't hear your team name called, don't come for Polk Hoops because we only posted what's been sent to us. So if it hadn't been sent to us, or is that Kathleen? I thought it was over there. Okay, so the games are at. I was told. See, I don't. Mootney, I don't get the same compensation from the Kathleen Red Devil Nation that I used to get. So I was told that it was over in Tampa. So now you telling me, see, even right then. So I wasn't coming because I was told it was over in Kathleen. I mean, it was over in Tampa. You telling me it's at Kathleen, so that tells me they didn't want me to come see. That's stuff I'm talking about.
Man, I want you to come see.
At what point, man, do we just
put in the locker room?
I can't. I'm not even Coach Barnes. I'm not even Corey. I'm not even Coach Corey. I'm just Polk. So people don't even have the same conversation for me no more, man. They hold stuff out. It's sad. It is. If I thought doing this was going create people looking at me and dealing with me different, I wouldn't have. Well, yeah, I would have still did it because the kids in the county needed it. But anyway, I'm adjusting to it.
Hey, Moot, and let me let you know now, Moot, so you know, it ain't no rumors. I told Coach Broke that if y'all got that same team, y'all ain't got no transfers. Attention. Attention.
Okay, Bartow is at Lake Highland Prep on Tuesday and on Thursday. Who y'all play Tuesday, Thursday, Coach? Like I said, I only report what I get, Coach.
He's not like me.
I only report what I get, and I go from there.
You know.
No, who play?
Bartow.
I do not know.
All right, Bartow.
I don't remember. I think McGriff told me, but I don't know. I know Winter Haven is playing somewhere in Tampa this week. I don't know which days.
It's three teams in the kind of playing OCP. I see. You got Kathleen, Lakeland, and Bartow, right?
Not Bartow. Winter Haven. Kathleen Winter Haven and Kathleen Winter Haven and no, not Bartow. Kathleen Winter Haven and Lakeland playing OCP.
Yeah, it should be great competition. They got a big kid I know is real good.
A lot of points, huh?
Yeah, it's all about points. You got to schedule different. You know, I did talk to, you know, one of the coaches in the county. He was saying that he was very pleased. He was surprised and pleased. Let me say it that way. He was surprised and pleased at how the county scheduled tougher this year than they normally do. But you got to do that now because of these points. If you want to get in, you know, just like Bartow, even though Bartow got that sausage on Friday, they scheduled tough and they got them in the playoffs for football. So if they didn't schedule tough, they wouldn't have got in.
They wouldn't have got in.
They wouldn't have got in.
And I think it's important for that 7A district because, you know, I think we can get 4 teams in with Bartow. Bartow, Lakeland, and Winter Haven should make it. All right, but I think we can fit one more team in there according to wins and losses in their schedule. Maybe it's Kathleen, maybe it's George Jenkins. You know what I'm saying? I think we can get 4 teams out of that district.
Can squeeze one more in. Okay. All right, so that's what's going on this week from what we have. So each week we will post them. Hey, Marlon, we about to do a recap real quick, so it's not just y'all though. So, but hey, I'm sorry. All right, so the recap for this past week, football game. Then we're gonna pick the football games for this week of the teams that's still playing that it's not basketball season with, and then we're gonna be done with y'all for the day. So, Lakeland, Lake Gibson, second round. Lakeland won the second game just like the first. They won 24-20. Not Lakeland. Lake Gibson won the second game 24-20. So they move on. Edgewater played Bartow. Edgewater won 42-6 against Bartow. So this week is Lake Gibson at Edgewater. What y'all think?
I'm rooting for Gibson. I just think if the Power 5 stars, I meant the 5 stars come to play, Lake Gibson can beat them.
I think that's tough. Go on the road at Edgewater.
Man, they got 2-piece, bro. 2-piece ain't gonna get held on 100 again.
Yeah, that ain't Polk County ball over there. On paper, Lake Gibson got much talent. Anybody ain't gonna play that's left. Now, how that translates on the field is 2 different things. But in Edgewater, you know, it's hard. It ain't easy to go over there and win. So I get what you're saying, Coach, about it being tough. But Gip got some talent.
Now this where that
definitely got talent.
This where that toughness of the schedule Lake Gibson had this year comes in to play late game. So I got Lake Gibson by 6.
What tough game had Lake Gibson won on the road?
Have they won on the road?
What tough game have they won on the road?
I don't know if they won. They just played some tough games.
Toughest game had a team up there in Georgia. I mean, they just lost.
You want me to just say?
Bro, I'm just saying, like, but you know what though?
They're gonna roll again. They gonna lose.
Bro, I'm always rocking with the county for sure. You know what I'm saying?
No, what you got with the county last week?
I mean,
Yeah,
but we're gonna be realistic too. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
You said the same thing I said. Strick, we're gonna get that sausage put in him.
Evan,
Exactly.
Evan, they played Lakeland at home the first time. They played Lakeland at Lake yesterday. They're playing them at Lakeland. Coach Ben, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Coach. The coach talking about Coach Petty. Is Edgewater the Patriots?
No, they're the Eagles or something.
Oh, okay. Because he said he's talking about go Pat. I thought he was talking about he going for Edgewater. That's one of our Lakeland coaches.
Yeah, I got Lakeland.
Um,
I got Lakeland as my six.
Okay. I
I'm
mean, that's
picking
your
Edgewater.
nothing on the road. I guess the toughest game they was gonna have on the road would have been Arbondale, but they canceled it. They lost to Valdosta, although they played well. They just lost in the shootout. So I don't know if they had a tough, if you want to say tough game on the road. So this might be the first one. I mean, they played the people on the second game. They lost to, close, but I guess they hadn't won a tough game on the road. If that's the question you're asking.
But you know what though? Like I said, I'm really rooting for them. I think it's gonna be tough for them to go over there and win. But if they win this game, they'll end up in the Final Four for sure. If they win this game, they'll end up in the Final Four. So I'm hoping they do go over there and win.
Okay. I abstained from Lake Yosemite pick because my baby alumni. All right. Arbondale beat Bellevue 41-7. So they got Orlando Jones. They got Jones at home on Friday.
Auburndale. I
I
ain't got
like
no school.
I like at home. I like Arbondale too. I don't think Jones is as strong in football as he is in basketball. So I like Arbondale too.
I actually think the opposite. They haven't been strong in basketball the last few years, but football they actually have. I think it's gonna be a great game. But I'm gonna rock with Arvindale since the brothers is coaching.
Okay. All right. So Lake Wells beat Port St. Lucie 35-0. So Lake Wells has to go to Ocala Vanguard. Lake Wells at Ocala Vanguard. What you think about that?
Lake. I'm going Lake Wells. Ain't no Dante Culpepper. I like Lake Wells.
Vanguard tough. That's a tough place to play, man. That's a real
It,
tough.
and that's what I'm about to say. And we don't lost to them like 2 or 3 times in the past few years. So just by our track record, I don't think we can go up there and win. That's my personal opinion, but I'm gonna always rock with the orange and black.
There we go.
All right,
Man.
we back. We all had to mention us for a minute. All right, so I said I think that I like I like Vanguard actually. I think it's gonna be tough for Lake Wells to go up there and get a win and them
Yeah,
people.
it will be. We haven't won up there every time we went up there, so
Yeah.
it'll be tough.
I got Lake Wells.
Okay. All right. So I next round 4A. Clewiston. Sorry, Strick. Clewiston 42-6 over Tenor Rock. Tenor Rock is done. Anything you want to say to him, or we're gonna keep moving?
No, I'm done. Emily, I'm riding with my boy, man. I told my boy already. Now you need to come on back. Come on back. That's all I'm gonna say.
Come on back, and he know what he's talking about.
You
Okay.
know what I'm talking about?
All right. So all right, moving on to the next round. Victory beat Foundation 24-7. So Victory goes to Zephyr Hills Christian. What's y'all thoughts on that? Victory at Zephyr Hills Christian.
I'm going victory.
I'm taking victory. I'm taking all four county teams around.
Okay. All right. Frostproof beat beat up on. I forgot who they played. They beat up on them anyway though. But Frostproof got a rematch with Lakeland Christian. Frostproof at Lakeland Christian.
I like Lakeland Christian in that one.
I don't even know if I really care. Uh, Jeez, I was just saying, damn, I thought all the Polk County team was done. Pick that game. Leave that to Polk with 863 to pick that one, not to me.
Yeah, we got at least one Polk County team gonna make it to the next round because that game got two Polk County teams in it. But I think Lakeland Christian done turned to a different team this year. You know, they normally throw the ball. I know you don't know this too because you don't follow them, but they know how to throw the ball. But this year they've been running the ball. They've been running the ball. They got like a pretty good defense. So they'll kind of switch their identity. So I think that they beat Frostburg pretty bad the first time. You know, it's tough to beat somebody twice in a year, but I think they'll pull it out.
No, it ain't tough. Just happy to them dreadnoughts.
You're gonna be banned. You're gonna be banned. Sebring beat Western Chapel 41-0. So this week, St. Pete Gibbs at Sebring. What
I
y'all
like
think?
Sebring.
Sebring.
Yeah, Sebring tough.
You're probably 1 year away, bro, because they got old boy that went to Florida, the head coach. Larry Murphy.
No. He went to Miami.
No, he went to Florida.
Sebring?
No, Gibbs.
Oh, okay.
He was a receiver that went to Florida and played with the Raiders.
Yeah, I remember who you talking about.
Dude.
Oh, okay. But y'all like Sebring. I like Sebring. I think Sebring gonna win this too. Sebring got a nice little football team. They got a good squad. Fort Meade lost to Wildwood 29-13. I know we said we thought Fort Meade would win it, but Wildwood snuck some basketball kids out there. So they won. So we got still playing football. We got Lake Wells, Lake Gibson, Arbondale, Sebring, Lakeland Christian, Frostproof, Victor. So we got 6 teams that's still playing football. And based off of you all's picks after this week, it'll still be 5 teams playing football. Although y'all two split with Lake Wells and Vanguard.
I'm around with the Wells. I can go to Lake Wells. Billy D can't.
What you talking about? I live in Lake Wells.
You hide and picking against them.
Not at all.
Hey, what's y'all thoughts of our top 10? Of our top 10, 4 of the 6 in our top 10 were transfers. I don't know if I might have wrote that down wrong. Was it 4? Was it 6 out of 10 in our top 10 with transfers, or was it 4 out of 10? I don't know, but it was a high number that was transferred. We kind of talked about that earlier. I guess it's kind of going to the whole loyalty thing. The Lord is it loyalty business? What's your reasoning behind going? So, all right. So I got one more question for y'all before we jump off for the week. You got this week, and it's already the end of it's Thanksgiving this week. This is the last week before Thanksgiving break. What is your one why? What is your one why for the week? And what is your one regret so far this year? If you don't have any, you ain't got to say nothing. But what is your one why for this week?
I can tell you, I don't have any regrets. Definitely don't have any regrets. You know what I'm saying? We live and we learn from all situations. So I don't have any regrets. My why this week is thankfulness and being thankful for relationships, like friendships, family, people I work with. What I have learned from this pandemic stuff is learn to appreciate relationships and give people their flowers while they're here. And that's one thing I'm thankful for now. I still have both parents. I still got a grandparent that's living. The kids that I work with every day and just try to make a difference in their lives. You know, working with you guys, You know what I'm saying? I'm just thankful, Barnes. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know, I don't have some ups and downs myself. So, you know, just to still be here is a blessing in itself.
That's what's up. Yeah, I don't have one, bro.
You don't have a why?
I don't have one. I don't have neither.
Man, y'all. But I do want to give a shout out though. Will Stallworth, he killed the ACT this week. I just want to make sure that we shot things like that out. You know, it was something that he was nervous about, but he killed it. So shout out to Will Stallworth in that.
I got
And
a
just
why.
We gotta do more of that. We gotta do more. Shout out, Will.
yeah,
We
that's
got
what I was about to say. If people could just let us know about
yeah,
you know those things, we'll definitely shout them out on here.
I got a why. Why Strick here to get that sausage?
Strick, you want to come on and answer the question, Strick? Why you got that sausage?
Do not let Strick on here. It's a
If
family show.
you can be PG and keep it family. I already done violated the family guidelines of the show already myself. So I can't be the one to talk. I gotta be coach of PG talk. But I done violated myself already.
Man, y'all wow.
Hey man, so this week we actually playing games. Coach, y'all up this week? You want to shout out your
Bro, we Wednesday. LBD is Wednesday against Lake Gibson. I think it's at Lake Gibson. I know I just sent it to you guys. Yeah, we at Lake Gibson at 7:00 on Wednesday.
just varsity?
Yeah, just varsity.
Okay, cool. We might slide through there and and check it out, see what's going on.
Definitely, man. Also, it's Founders Week on Wednesday, November 17th. Shout out to the real life Q dolls out there.
Okay.
Definitely.
Boss man, you want to shout out anything you got going? You good? Hey man.
Shout out to the Hagens again for being a sponsor.
Definitely shout out to Hagens. Appreciate it, coach.
What happened to the shirts? What happened to the shirts we were supposed to wear?
I don't know, man. We were supposed to meet up at the game, and it didn't happen. So we'll catch back up once we get them. We'll definitely rock them on the show, man. But we appreciate Coach believing in the mission of what we're trying to get done. So shout out to Coach in his track club. He do a real good job. You got kids that's looking to do the track thing early on. I know my son did track early on. It really helped him out. So if you got kids that's want to do track early, like elementary early, that's kind of that's the guy you want to look at. He do a real good job. Do a good job of teaching. Do a real good job of putting them in situations to compete, and that's what you want them to do at that age. So recommend Perseverance Track Clubs. So shout out to Coach Hagan and what he do with the kids away from Kathleen, not just at Kathleen. So Strick say shout out Tyrell Lucas of T and J says shout out to FSU. These guys don't want to talk about FSU, Tyrell. I'm not bringing it up because I'm kind of on hiatus. That's not my team right now, but they don't want to talk about
at all. I was in attendance.
Look at Strick.
That was a long ride back, bro.
Oh man!
Just because of how they lost on the 4th and 14th, I'm gonna let you go with the sausage. But a 1 to 2 point game is not a sausage. But since it's Florida State Miami and how they lost, we're gonna say that's a sausage. Well, you got 3 on putting you. He got 4. He got 1 putting him at the 20, at the 50.
And getting off the bus.
Yeah.
And getting off the bus.
And in the end zone.
Oh man, Strick should have had a winning record, man. That's all that matters, man. They had a winning record. Oh man. Hey man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us this week, man. Good luck to all the teams that's getting going with the tip-off classic this week. I know some of y'all won't have all your kids because they're still playing ball, but to the ones that's playing, man, we wish y'all the best, man. Make the season the best. The fans will be in the stands this year, so that'll be great. Make sure y'all be safe and take care of yourself and don't take things for granted. Make sure you tell your people that you love them, man. Don't take that stuff for granted because we don't know this life thing is crazy. So don't let people have to wonder. Make sure folks know how you feel each and every day, man. So we appreciate y'all rocking with us at Polk Hoops, man. As long as y'all rock with us, we'll rock with y'all. As long as y'all give us the information, we'll provide it. You know, we still us. We ain't changed. Although, you know, it kind of seemed that way to some folks. We don't change, but we still us and we try to be consistent. But good luck to everybody, man. Everybody's 0-0 this week, and everybody got the same shot at the same crown. So we wish y'all well, man, in between the lines. And till next week, man. Till next time. We may not be on next week because I know my boy
Yeah,
got
that's what I was about to say.
week.
Oh
That's
yeah,
gonna be tough.
Yeah, so we
Classic weekend.
yeah, y'all enjoy your weekend. So I know my guys, they be real busy doing classic weekends, so we probably won't be on next week. We'll get y'all a week off, and when we come back to follow, we'll be ready for the games that really count. So appreciate y'all, man. We'll get y'all a week off next week because my co-hosts they already tapping. I already see how that's going to
Man,
go.
we can do it like Monday or Tuesday before everybody start playing or something.
Yeah, maybe Tuesday.
Oh
maybe,
yeah, definitely
maybe
can't do
Tuesday.
it any other time.
Maybe Tuesday, but I know Sunday won't. Sunday ain't gonna.
No, Sunday not gonna work.
Gonna work. So we appreciate you, man. So all right, man. Cause yeah, next week y'all off of work. Everybody, we off next week. So yeah, so that'll work too anyway. So all right, man. Y'all be safe this week, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us through the technical difficulties and everything else, man. Y'all be safe until next time. So cool. We out.
All right, peace.